Shift our focus now, David, and let's go to the mining sector. We have the president of Amcu, Joseph Mathunjwa, in studio. And of course, this is in the midst of the gold wage sector negotiations in South Africa. Thank you so much for making the time to join us. Now, I understand that the process of the negotiations was concluded today. There is a round of responses that is expected from next week. But before we get into the nuts and bolts, why have you not been attending?
Oh, me?
Apparently you weren't at the talks.
Yes, the General Secretary and the National Treasurer are there.
How is this received by your members that your presence as the president has not been visible?
Amcu is not a one-man show. It does have comrades within the structures. So if necessary, they will call me. I might visit them as they are ongoing with negotiations.
So, Joseph, you took 80 to 90%. That was the increase you were asking for. You're not going to get it. I think we can be sure of that. What are you going to do when you don't get it?
If we don't get it, surely someone will get something out of it.
What will you be happy with, in other words?
A living wage. I think we've been saying this for many times. And we are not apologetic to that, that workers should be time now that they need to benefit from this political dispensation, 20 years to this far. We haven't realized any fruits of the democracy in terms of economy to our members or to the working class in general.
There's been a view as well that there's a very strong sentiment that the miners are willing to dig their heels in for a living wage and go on strike if necessary for as long as necessary. How long is for as long as necessary? How long are you willing to hold out?
I think it's not for me to decide how long that could be. Is the workers themselves who are the members of Amcu that will decide. Maybe they will want to break the record of the platinum of 5 months. Maybe they would like to go for 10 months.
Could the gold industry survive a 10-month strike, though?
I mean, if gold mines have been surviving by paying the huge salaries to the executive, if they don't want a strike, surely they must be seen to be doing something to address this apartheid structural payments that is still perpetuated even in the 21st century.
Joseph, I quickly want to talk about the social pact that's been put on the table. What is it in essence that the mining houses are putting on the table when they're saying there's a social pact which is part of what's being on offer? And what's the reaction from the unions on that front? I
think today even they tried to make sense out of it. It couldn't make sense. Hence they requested to go back to the drawing board. And the question will be, during 2011, 2012, when the price of gold was very good, what did these employers did? Why didn't they introduce the very same social impact sustainability that they are putting today? So, and after then you saw when there was this global crisis in terms of the economy, the meltdown of the economy. But these companies, they gave themselves increase from 155%. Harmony Gold was at about 87.5 million for their executive and their shares, and their production was down by 20.8%. But they managed to walk away with 155% increase, putting them to 213 million. So what justified that?
You mentioned the gold price, and one of the things in the Chamber's proposal was that if there's an upside in the gold price, then the workers should benefit from that. So you link reward to the gold price. If the gold price is low, everyone suffers, the company and so on. I agree with you that the executive shouldn't be the ones to gain when the company's battling and the workers are battling. But why not link? When it's good times, let people benefit. When it's tough times, everyone should pull back.
But remember, the structural payment of the majority of the black mine workers was not based on performance, was based on color. Whether we are black or Indian or colored, that is where it was based. So you cannot correct the structural effect of it through the production. I don't think that is the right way.
Now, just a quick one. We know, of course, that the president is expected to release the Marikana report, but there's been leakage into the media. Here's a tweet coming from Yusuf Abramji, obviously capturing the headline from the Star that the miners were killers, according to the president. What has been the reaction to some of this leakage that has come through, which suggests that there might be a very watered-down version of what actually happened at Marikana?
Well, and also we don't know what President Zuma has done. He's kind of given a preview of his report, of the report to him, without going into detail.
I mean, in general, our members phoned us, and even ourselves as the leaders, we were shocked, for the lack of the better word, because during the Falam Commission, there was no evidence that was laid that the 10 people who died before the massacre were killed by 3,000 RDOs. There is no evidence to that effect. And to label the mine workers as as murderers, as Cyril did, the deputy president, is really shocking. Surely, we went to court, as Amcu, to try to persuade the state president that he should release the report. He gave us the date for the Tuesday next week. But we were perturbed when we see such news headlines saying the workers are the murderers. That means they do have the position that they took. The 3 months delay was about cooking or whatever, the report. But let's wait and see.
Does this change your strategy that you're going to adopt in response to this report? Because clearly this is not what you're expecting. And if it comes out in the way that it's suggesting that it might come out, is there a game plan from your side?
It's not really that we've got a game plan. There is laws in this country. We've got a constitution in this country. So we have to persuade other legal means in order to protect whoever that we need to protect. But remember, we even said during the commission that those perpetrators who happen to kill the police must face the justice. But you cannot just label every worker and say this is the people who killed the police or killed the 10 employees.
Well, of course, we don't know because we haven't seen the report yet. We don't know what President Zuma was taking from the report out of context, out of his own report given to him. Thanks to the Amcu President Joseph Mathunjwa for coming in to talk to us tonight.